time, we just sharpened our pencils and bought some notebook paper and went back to school. But times have changed. Now there are more gadgets and gizmos than we can count. But how do you know you're buying the right ones for your kids, whether they're headed off to middle or high school or to college? Tech expert Brian Westbrook rides to the rescue this morning with some great tips. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
We start with the laptop.
The notebooks have gone high-tech now. They're no longer pads of paper. It really is essential to have a laptop computer. You've got the dorm room, you're transporting back and forth to class. Yep. You want to make sure that when you're buying a computer, you think about a couple of things. Number one, is it appropriate for their studies? If they're a graphic design student, they may want to go to the Mac route. If they're really into number crunching or they're going to end up on a PC in their career, you might want to go the PC route.
Oh, that's a good
Certainly
thought.
give them some advice and give them some input on the decision. And think about the size. Remember, they're going to be lugging this machine back and forth to class every day, to the library, etc. You want to make sure you get one that's the right size, that doesn't weigh them down.
Because they already carry those 100-pound backpacks as it is. So there are notebooks, there are the laptops, there are the iPads, and then the other sort of tablets. How do you choose among all those?
Well, I think every student needs to have at least one computer. There's just a lot you can't do with a tablet. The netbooks are a little small. Sometimes they don't have a lot of the features that you need. So you need at least one computer. Now that could be a desktop computer in the dorm room, supplemented by a tablet for taking notes. Otherwise, just get one laptop, do it all in one. This is the HP Pavillion G. This is a G6. It's a great machine. It's $500, comes in fashionable colors. It's got all the latest bells and whistles, got a super long battery life. You can actually load a Blu-ray player into it so you can watch movies in your off time. It's a fantastic machine.
$500 is pretty good.
$500 is a great price point. And HP now has a new mouse. This is an HP Wi-Fi mouse, and this is super nice because you used to have the little dongle that you had to plug in with the Bluetooth, and you had a cord running around. This actually connects via Wi-Fi.
I call that a thingy. What is it actually?
It's a dongle, a thingy, an adapter, sure. This connects via Wi-Fi, so it'll go over your wireless network that you have in the house. Where this becomes really advantageous, the batteries will last 9 months. So none of that last-minute turn paperwork, and you're thinking, "Oh, great! I've just run out of batteries on my mouse." This is a fun little device. This is the Rage Gauge. Now you're studying late night, and imagine you're thinking, "Oh gosh, you know, I'm really frustrated by this." So you bang this device.
Please stop. Ooh, bring in the heat. Uh-oh, time for chill pill.
So what I like about this Rage Gauge is it's just a simple little USB device, super fun, but you can actually record voices on it. So if you're going to give it to your son before they go off to college, maybe record mom's voice on there that says, "Have you done your laundry? Have you?"
My son would super love that, to hear me.
Wouldn't that be great?
How are you on your homework? I ask again.
One of the accessories that you always have to have, these are USB drives. These are little thumb drives you can store files on, certainly keep a backup. They used to be really big like this. Now Verbatim has come out with new 4-gig drives that are super tiny. In fact, I have one for you right here. They just clip onto your clothing. You can clip them really anywhere you need them. You just pull them right off. They store up to 4 gigs. Perfect for backing up your files, keeping an archive of the projects you're working on, those sorts of things.
I'm going to try to clip this back on you so we can see how it works. There we go.
And my friend Jameson had a great idea. He actually clipped a Lego guy to a thumb drive so that he could identify that this is his thumb drive. So he gave that to me. That's kind of fun. That's a good idea
because they do all look alike and you can get yours mixed up with other people's.
It's a great way to keep track of them, and also if you've got multiple to know which ones are on which files. So it's kind of fun. Epson has a new printer out this year. This is the NX625. It's only $130. It scans, it faxes, it prints, it does everything. You can put out full color prints like so. You can also use it to print out those reports, and it's quiet. That's a nice thing about these printers now. They're super quiet because you don't want to be keeping everybody up with the ratchetty of an old printer.
Exactly. That would be okay for a dorm room?
It is.
It'll last.
And again, it's really durable. It also keeps everything into one unit so you don't have separate devices for different things. You can consolidate.
Very good idea.
And speaking of consolidating, this is an iPad tablet. This is a fun case by Cocoon. And you can slide your iPad in the case like so. But notice I have all of the accessories you could possibly want with your tablet right in here. So I've got my Bluetooth headphones, my card reader, my backup battery, all the essentials for college life, right? And then when you're ready to take it on the go, just fold the cover right. It protects all of those accessories, and you can slide this in your backpack, take it with you.
That's awesome.
This is a really nice way to keep everything compact. Make sure you have your chargers with you, everything you're ready to go.
That's the toughest part of all of this, is keeping track of the gizmos, so
you
that's
got
a
to
very
have the
good
chargers
thing.
and the wires and the cables. Now, you're familiar with the Amazon Kindle.
I absolutely love my Kindle.
Got the e-ink screen. Well, there's a new one out by a company called Kobu. This is actually a touch screen, and what this guy does here is he flips through the pages, so you can actually just kind of scan through, and it'll turn pages if I can go the right direction. I was at the beginning of the book. You got to go to the next page, right? And the touch screen, it comes in 4 different colors. This is the Kobu e-reader. It's $130. It's actually lighter than the Kindle. It's slightly smaller than the Kindle, and feel it. You can just put that right in your pocket.
Does it do all the same things?
It does a lot of the same things, exactly.
The important thing is, does it make the font bigger? That's what I need.
It will absolutely make the font bigger.
I kid you not, that's really important.
That's the first question I get asked a lot is, will it make the font bigger so that we can read the pages? And absolutely. They're also great for reading in the dark or reading in the different daylight because a tablet, for example, the iPad, doesn't do very well out in the sun, you're reading in the park, but this e-ink technology is great because it stays there. It also has great battery life. It lasts months in some cases with these e-readers. So they're handy. The other thing I wanted to point out,
colors.
The other thing I wanted to point out is Amazon with their Kindle has launched a new textbook service. The textbook service will allow you to rent the textbooks for anywhere from 30 to 360 days. And where that's important is A, you're not lugging around these giant textbooks, but B, and perhaps more importantly, you're not paying for the textbooks. You're only renting them for the time you need them.
Now, are we headed toward a time when we can get library books this way too?
Absolutely. They're looking into...
Would that be heaven? You just go to the library in an instant and have your book?
And you can have them downloaded to the book. All of the e-readers are thinking that this is the next way to go with renting books or looking at technology that we can bring them on a temporary basis. They can loan them to you. The other thing that I'm looking forward to them solving is the ability to transfer a title. I bought it on my Kindle or my ebook reader. I want to give it to you for you to check it out and you to read it. There's not really that worked out yet, but that's coming. They're certainly thinking along the same lines.
And it should, because if you bought a book, you could do that, so there should be some way to share.
There definitely should be. Absolutely.
I understand why they don't want to, but for details on all of these amazing products, please visit our website. We'll link you over for more information. But Brian has an announcement before we go any farther.
We have a handful of these to give away to the audience. You're going to walk away with an ebook reader.
Going to raffle those babies off.
We're also going to give one lucky audience member one of these Epson printers.
Yay! Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Raffle in the commercial break. People, get your lucky fingers on. Well, there's still more New Day to come. After the break, we're talking with a local man organizing a neighborhood uprising, but it's a very good thing. We'll explain next.